Dear Mr. A&R, we all struggling artists. Realize the world is cold, but we came here to spark it. Swimming little guppies in a sea full of sharks. It's gonna take a miracle to not end up hard.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Six with Ian and Thomas.
Hi, everybody.
We're back!
Hey.
International break sucks, but it's kind of cool.
Yes.
The only reason we take a break during the international breaks is because we don't get coverage of those games, unfortunately. We would love to be able to cover those with you, but
One day.
the majority of them are not televised, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But I know the U.S. got a couple good games against some South American teams. Saw a great goal from Pulisic, so glad to see him back in the team. But Premier League, getting down to the wire. There are 6 games left, unless you are Man City, Arsenal, Tottenham, and Chelsea in the top 6, and you have 7 games left, which could prove to be vital because right now Liverpool are in the lead by 2 points, but City do have a game in hand. So it's going to come down to, will City lose or will City drop points?
And it comes down to the same thing with Liverpool. You know, I actually was literally just reading an article about Sadio Mane. You know, Liverpool's a good team. We are a good team. We play well together. But at this stage, any mistake will be our last.
And I agree. I agree with that entire
I do
statement. Liverpool are contending for a title. They're fighting. They just have made one too many slip-ups from where they were at mid-season. And it may end up costing them if City don't drop points.
Yeah, in December, they had, was it a 10-point lead or 7-point lead?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big lead.
You know, they had a pretty substantial lead at the Christmas break, and you know, now just the fact that City has a game in hand, you know, technically Liverpool's in second place. I mean, you know, with all things said and done. So yeah, at this point, the title race is completely in Manchester City's hands. They have to slip up. They have to drop points. You know, so it's the same being said for them. You know, and I'm sure the Manchester City players are saying the same thing that Sadio Mane is saying about Liverpool. We have to win every game between now and the end of the season. City's got just a little bit more to work for, though. I mean, right now, Liverpool's still in Champions League. They've got a pretty tough schedule coming up. They've got Southampton, and then they got Porto, and then they got Chelsea, and then they got Porto again. But at this point, you know, they're still fighting for Champions League. You know, to win Champions League.
Yep.
And then you know they're still well in the title race.
Yeah.
But right now, Manchester City is looking for an unprecedented quadruple. They're looking for 4 trophies in the same season, which has never been done before. So they've got something to fight for.
Yep.
You know, and not saying that Liverpool is not going to go, hey, you know, the Champions League and you know the league title are not something to fight for, because believe me, they are. That's a big deal. So hopefully, you know, they can kind of pull it out. And you notice, you know, I've got my Liverpool jersey on right now.
Let's talk about Liverpool.
Okay.
Their last game was against Tottenham.
I thought
Big. We'll talk about the games, the scores. Big game for them. Absolutely a must-win game against a team who has overall done really well this season, but has been kind of in a poor form as of late.
Yeah, considering they have 1 point from 5 matches right now.
It's true.
Which is very unlike Tottenham.
It is. Well, it's
the end of the season.
It's the end of season Tottenham.
Yeah.
So it's just like Tottenham.
The wobble has set in.
And they're missing chances left and right. I remember during the Liverpool match, there was one. It was a 2-on-1. It was I can't remember the guy's name, who launched it over the bar. Is it Sissoko? That's not the right name. I don't remember names like that really well. I apologize. I'm a terrible person. But Heung-min Son was on there, and it was just Virgil van Dijk defending.
Who did brilliantly.
He did. He proved. I'm going to come out and say this. I think he is the best center back in the world. He just
Sorry, Dejan Lovren.
To be honest, the fact that you can go up against a 2-on-1 like that, defend it beautifully, and prevent a goal that would have put your team down. I'm sorry. I mean, it's brilliant defending.
Yeah, he's very calm. He just doesn't panic.
Yeah, he was able to force the attacker onto their off foot and make them take a shot by cutting off Heung-min Son. It was brilliant. I mean, as a goalkeeper, watching your defender do that puts a lot of confidence in you. I mean, and just to know that you have that kind of defender in front of you. I mean, it's an amazing feeling. And I know the goal, the last minute goal at the Kop end for Liverpool wasn't technically Mo Salah's, but I'm gonna give him credit for it. It was a beautiful ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold right onto the head of Mo Salah, who put it right on frame, and a mistake from Hugo Lloris. They were able to get an own goal. So,
and I mean, I feel for the Tottenham fans, but at the same time, and Hugo Lloris even said over the weekend, it was just a matter of luck. It was just luck happened to be on Liverpool's side, and that's not wrong.
I disagree.
Well, no, Liverpool I think was the better team, but at that point, Tottenham was really pressing. Tottenham was by far not out of that game. I mean, at that point, it was a 1-1 draw coming up, which would have devastated Liverpool's title hopes. But it would have launched Tottenham, forward. I think they would have moved into, or they're in third place now, I think.
Nope. Arsenal's in third.
Okay. I think coming into the late stages of the game, I think it was getting a little nervy. And you could kind of feel it. Even just watching TV, you could feel it in the stadium. The beginning of the match, Anfield was absolutely... It was cacophonous. I mean, there was so much noise, even on a TV. It was absolutely amazing atmosphere. And then when the first goal got scored, Bobby Firmino,
great ball from Andy Robertson.
Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold are really creating a lot of chances for the other players on the team. But when that first goal went in, the lid came off. And then going into the second half, things kind of slowed down a little bit, and it seemed like Tottenham was kind of growing into the match. They were getting more and more confident. They were willing to take a little bit more of a gamble, and it was starting to maybe pay off. And again, just a mistake in the back four, and Hugo Lloris, cost him those 3 points. But like I said, it was just a really nervy 30 minutes or so. For Liverpool. I mean, as a Liverpool supporter, it was really nervy for me because I watched a replay of the match. I didn't watch it live, and I didn't know the score. I stayed off of social media.
He's really good with that.
Yeah, I stay off of social media, and because it just takes a lot of the fun out of the game for me if I know the score. Sometimes it does. I think a Liverpool match, I would still enjoy watching the match, but not as much. Anyway. So at this point, Liverpool, I think they lucked out a little bit. I'm not taking anything away from them. They played well. They defended well. They attacked well. They had plenty of chances. It could have easily been 4-0 in the first half. I mean, the crossbar and then literally inches wide. Sadio Mane ripped the curler off his right foot that went across Hugo Lloris and literally just missed upper 90. By enough that as soon as Mane hit the ball and it started curling that direction, he was already running toward the corner to celebrate. It was that close. He was certain he had just scored a goal. And I think everybody else was too. But those kind of things, you can't hold on to those. You have to make other chances. And they did. They said, I mean, it could have easily been 3 or 4-0 in the first half. But at this point in the season, and the fact that Manchester City is still dominant, Liverpool cannot make any mistakes at all. Neither can City. I mean, it's going to come down to, almost like a game of chicken. Who's going to blink first? And it's going to come down to match fitness. It's going to come down to, who's not injured. Because both teams have a bunch of international players who know how to play in big games.
Yep.
I mean, these are big game players. So
and I know Liverpool just got a lot of major boosts back with a lot of their players coming back from injury. Dejan Lovren came on late in the game. He's been out for a while. There was a scare with Andy Robertson. He's back. There was a scare with Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was playing the entire game. It's all starting to look a little bit better for Liverpool. They're not having the injury problems that they were having. I did see Virgil van Dijk was kind of limping towards the end of the game, but I haven't seen anything major coming from that. I think it might have just been, the tackle hurt a little bit. And he'll shake it off and be fine.
Yeah, there were a few little blips on the radar here and there that everybody was certain he's going to be healthy for the Southampton match. So there may have been something there, and hopefully, he's a young, fit dude, and they've got fantastic, staff, doctors, and things like that. So they should be able to take care of him pretty well, and hopefully he's ready to go for Southampton, because Southampton's not a joke right now. They're not a Manchester City. They're not an Arsenal, they're not a Tottenham, they're not a Chelsea, they're not a Man United, but they're not a joke right now. They're not something. They're not a side to be taken lightly at this point. Good news is, if they have to, they can put Dejan Lovren back there, who's not a Virgil van Dijk, but if push comes to shove, that's what they got. On the other side of that, looking at injuries and match fitness and things like that, looking at Manchester City, they're concerned about Sergio Aguero right now. They're actually taking him out of the lineup for their next match, just to make sure he stays fit. I think they're playing Cardiff.
Yeah, I think they've got a pretty simple match coming.
Yeah, I think it's Cardiff City.
Yep.
Yeah, on Wednesday,
yep.
I think, which is actually tomorrow. Because we're recording live now. I forgot. But so that may be a concern, and that may be what Liverpool needs to surge them forward just a little bit. The fact that their top scorer may or may not be fit. But then again, they've got Raheem Sterling and
Bernardo Silva.
They got David Silva.
They've got goal scorers on that team.
Absolutely.
I don't think they'll have a problem. They did breeze through Fulham pretty easily with a 2-0 win. I think Aguero got more goals. He got another.
I think he had a hat trick.
No. It was only 2-0.
Yeah.
Aguero had a goal and an assist, and then Bernardo Silva had a goal and an assist. So they flip flopped within 20 minutes of each other. So, but I don't want to make any predictions right now with what's going to happen between those two. I think the title race has come down between those two. I don't think Arsenal's that close. Yeah, Arsenal is currently 14 points behind City.
Good Lord. I didn't realize there was that big of a gap between second and third right now.
It's going to be one of those two teams. That is the prediction I'll make because I have no idea what it's going to come down to. Liverpool have a pretty tough challenge in Chelsea coming up in a couple weeks, depending on which Chelsea team shows up. It could be pretty bad for them.
But I think City still has to face.
City
Tottenham.
has Tottenham and United.
Okay, so City's not got the easiest schedule.
I apologize. Coming up in about a week and a half, about a week. City's schedule is April 9th, Tottenham for Champions League. April 14th, Crystal Palace. April 17th, Tottenham for Champions League. April 20th, Tottenham for Premier League. So they play Tottenham 3 times in 4 games. And then right after they play Tottenham, they've got Man United at Old Trafford.
And that's going to be, I think that's where the decision is going to be made.
I think in that time span, it's going to be
between now and the end of the season, the only real challenge, and not slighting anybody that Liverpool's going to be playing over the next couple of weeks, the only challenge they have left is Chelsea. They've already played everyone else. So they've already finished with Tottenham. They finished with United. Everton's not even in the equation anymore. They're done with Arsenal. Right now they have Chelsea and then mid-table teams that they should win against. If they show up and they decide, listen, we want the title this year. It's been 14 years, I think. And this is the year we're going to do it. This is the year that JK's men finally get it together and pull it off, this is the year, and that's when it's going to happen. When United has that tough schedule, playing Tottenham 3 times in 4 matches is not an easy task for any team, and that includes Manchester City, who is a prolific team.
Yeah, because, I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, Tottenham have been on a slump lately. They're still not a team to mess around with. They played really well against Liverpool. Yeah. If they played that well against any other team, you know, it's going to be a game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, playing them 3 times is going to be even harder.
Because the tactics are going to change. The tactics are going to change.
They're going to wear them down. Yeah. I mean, 3 tough games like that automatically is going to wear you down.
So what you need to do is you need to figure out a way to watch those matches, because that is some stuff you don't want to be missing at this point.
I mean, you're going to see teams who have been battling each other out for a week.
yeah.
And they're going to be at each other's throats. They're going to be pushing to every limit they have.
Question: how many red cards do you see over those 3 matches?
Over those 3 games, I don't see any coming out of Guardiola's team. I think Pep Guardiola has a team that is very classy. They're a fantastic team. I don't see them getting any red cards.
I agree.
I could foresee 1 coming from Tottenham.
Okay. Right.
It could happen.
Because I don't think they're a bunch of hotheads either. I think they're going to be a little more frustrated, though.
Yeah, because of how their season has been going lately. Their run of poor form is going to be a little bit frustrating. So they're going to come out with fire in their eyes to try and score some goals for the Champions League and score some late points against a top team in the Premier League. So I'm excited. That's going to be really fun. Very excited for this upcoming week and a half.
It's going to be fun.
And then I mean, like right after that, you've got a team who's devastated from playing Tottenham 3 times, and then you immediately have to go to Old Trafford to play your crosstown rivals. Yeah. So I'm excited for the Manchester derby too. It's going to be amazing.
And again, it's over those games that I think the outcome of the season will be decided. Who's finishing on top? Who's finishing in second? The top 4 is still up for fight right now. Right now you got Liverpool, City, Arsenal, and Tottenham. Now you have to understand that the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place team all have a game in hand over Liverpool right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to change. United may have lost their chance at a top 4.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
They did lose today, as of us going live. They did lose to Wolverhampton 2-1. And they lost Ashley Young to a red card. But I don't think, with Solskjaer officially being appointed now, which that did happen over the international break. We should probably mention that, I guess.
Congratulations, Ollie.
That was a long time coming.
Should have happened a long time ago.
It should have happened a long time ago. But United, they've got a tough schedule coming up too. They've got Barcelona in the Champions League. They've got West Ham, Everton, Chelsea, and then City and Huddersfield, and Cardiff is their last game. So they don't have a very easy schedule to finish off the season. So Solskjaer's going to have a bit of a challenge
they've got some work
to finish it up.
I think it's something they can do.
I think it's going to be a battle between... It's going to be a battle between the places 3 through 6 to see who ends up in the top 4. The top 6 have been decided. That's another thing.
And right now Chelsea has a game in hand over United.
They do.
Chelsea in 6th place has a game in hand over 5th place United. And it's only a 1-point difference. So, I mean, that can definitely move. So, Chelsea can move into 5th place, which would put them in Europa qualifications, which is, I think at this point, is really their goal.
Well, so I think Chelsea's goal for this season is to win Europa League. Because if they win Europa League, they're in Champions League next year.
Okay. All right.
Obviously, they want to, prevent United or another team from getting in Europa League. They want to do that, but if they can win Europa League, that's an automatic qualification for Champions League.
Right.
So that I think that's their goal for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And then during the summer transfer window, they're going to have to work hard to keep some of the players that they've got. There are people who, Real Madrid's still looking to get Eden Hazard. Bayern Munich's been looking to get Callum Hudson-Odoi, who is a player I'm really hoping stays at Chelsea because he is a fantastic young talent.
And apparently he's planned to start for Chelsea.
He started his first international match for England before he started an official Premier League match. He played really well for England. Gareth Southgate realized his talent, brought him in, and utilized it. So he has a bright future ahead of him, just like Kylian Mbappe does, Trent Alexander-Arnold does, Andy Robertson does. That is the future generation of football. And
those are the names you need to write down, and you need to keep an eye on those guys.
I am very excited for the future
because they are going to be a big time. And speaking of Barcelona and transfers and things like that, apparently there's rumors still that Felipe Coutinho he's linked with the move to United. He's just not getting playing time.
So I read something about that. So Barcelona,
he doesn't want to. He's saying he's afraid that will stain his legacy with the Liverpool faithful, and it would. I'm a Felipe Coutinho fan. I really admire Felipe Coutinho. He's one of the exciting players. I was really sad to see him leave Liverpool. I was happy that he got the opportunity that he got. He wanted to play Barcelona. It's been a lifelong dream. Fine, you need to go. You need to pursue that. Fantastic. Yep. I'm behind you 100%. I don't want you to leave, but I'm happy why you're leaving. And now he's not getting the playing time there. He's just not able to. He's not
merging with the tactics. They have given him, I believe, till the end of the season to pick up on his poor form and hopefully turn it around. They said if that doesn't happen, there's a good chance that he will be leaving. To free up space for something else.
Yeah. So, but like I said, right now the big team that's most linked with his transfer over the summer is Manchester United, and he has stated publicly he does not want to do that because of the fierce rivalry that exists between Liverpool and Man United. And I've even had people wonder, why is there such a big rivalry between Liverpool and United? The cities are 30 something miles apart. Why is there such a huge rivalry? I'm going to explain this to you. Everybody ready? We're going to break this down. Liverpool and Manchester are about 30 miles apart. Liverpool Football Club and Manchester United Football Club are two of the oldest in English football. Manchester United is the winningest Premier League, top-flight English team. So as far as Premier League wins and English top-flight football, they have the most trophies. As far as European championships, Liverpool has the most trophies. And it's two pretty prolific things, but and both of them are just fighting for dominance for both, and it's just not happened. So over the last 125 plus years, these two teams have been going at each other. Oh, we got the most European. We've conquered all of Europe. Oh, we conquered all of England. We're the kings of England. Things like that. That's why these two teams are so fierce. And for Felipe Coutinho to leave Liverpool, go to Barcelona, everybody was okay with it. Tears were shed. People were a little angry for a little bit, but after we understood why, I completely supported the move. Now that he's not being able to fit in with Barcelona for whatever reason, and a move from Barcelona to somewhere else is probably imminent, the fact that he would go to Manchester United would absolutely make him a target for any Liverpool supporter.
Yep.
And Manchester United supporters may not accept him because he once played for Liverpool. That's in there too. But he said he doesn't want to because he doesn't want to stain his legacy. Right now, he's one of Liverpool's greats. Would I place him up there with Kenny Dalglish and even Steven Gerrard and things like that? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think he played for them long enough.
Yeah, and that's why I think maybe not. But still, if he were to leave Liverpool, go to Barcelona, and then come to United next season, I don't know what I'd do with his jersey. I don't know. It makes my eye twinge to think about it. But that's that's my That's my commentary there. So that's inside the 6, baby.
Before we go, we did talk a lot about the top 6 and who could possibly win the league. We didn't talk much about relegation zone.
And we need to, because that's happening.
2 quick things. Huddersfield, gone. That has been confirmed.
Yeah.
Fulham, gone.
As of today, done.
The last spot is currently held by Cardiff, and Burnley are currently 5 points ahead. Cardiff do have a game in hand, but
and Southampton's not
that
only
far ahead
of Burnley on goal differential.
But I will say Southampton have been playing really well as of late.
Yeah.
I don't see them going down this season. I think it's going to be between Cardiff and Burnley.
I do too. And it's really kind of sad for Burnley. I mean, it's sad for Cardiff too, given the fact that last season Burnley qualified for Europa.
Yep.
Which was brilliant for them. And then, to fall, and I don't know what to say about it. I really don't. I mean, Sean Dyche hasn't changed. His squad didn't change much, and maybe that's what it was. He just needed, maybe an injection of fresh blood somewhere. Who knows? But the relegation battle right now is for that third team to be relegated. So that's going to get exciting between Cardiff and Burnley. And at this point,
even Brighton. Brighton's also at 33 points,
and Brighton.
But they have 2 games in hand. So I don't see that happening either.
Yeah. So for over the next couple of weeks, that's going to be pretty pivotal to find out who is not going to be in top flight next season. And this is when this league gets so exciting at this time.
Yep.
Especially with the title race as tight as it is, especially between the first and second place.
And we didn't have this last year.
No.
Because it's been over a year since we started doing Inside the 6. I remember last year, Man City just ran away with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even a fight at that point.
So it was to round whoever it was to round out the top 4, the top 5, whoever was going to come in second place, and then of course your relegation battle. And that I remember the relegation last season changed all the time.
Yep.
This time, we still got 6 games left, ish, depending on which team it is. But 2 teams have already been confirmed relegated. The second one, Fulham, was confirmed today with the drubbing they got at Watford. Was it Watford?
Yep. 4-1.
4-1. Watford, yes. Okay. So over the next couple of weeks, that third team will be named to who will be relegated to the championship. And, not to say the championship is any slack league. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty brutal league too, because at that point, there's teams that are fighting for their life there. So the next couple weeks is going to be very exciting. Stay tuned. There are no more international breaks for English Premier League between now and the end of the season, and the transfer window is going to start heating up. I guarantee you there's going to be... I said that at the last transfer window, the January transfer window. I said it was going to start heating up, and it was really kind of a tepid transfer window.
It was kind of almost boring.
Yeah, this one I guarantee you is going to be it's going to be 180 degrees. This one is going to be lava hot. So stay tuned for those rumors going to start coming out, and we'll do our very best to keep you all abreast of those.
I can't say that.
Oh, my bad. I said it.
All right, take us out.
So, this is Inside the 6 with Ian and Thomas. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate you guys being here. This is really kind of fun for us. Stay tuned. We're going to do this again probably next Tuesday. Tuesday, 6 p.m. is a time when we go live. If we don't go live, the recorded episodes will go live at 6 p.m. So look out for those. Click the button down there so you can subscribe. Click the bell so you get notifications. While we're doing it live, you guys can also get on here. And hey, Jamie's there. What's happening with you there, buddy? Long time no hear from. Glad to see you. Hopefully we'll see you at pickup on Sunday sometime soon. But like I said, we can chat, ask us questions, tell us what you want to talk about, give us some topics. You can do that now, even though we're signing off. Send us a note. Hey, we want to talk about this. Hey, what's going on with so-and-so? What's going on with this team? What don't you like about the show? What do you like? Let us know. Be constructive. We really want to improve it to make it more enjoyable for you as well. Huge thank you to our really good friend, Macrophonic MC, who lets us use his super cool music for our intro and our outro. He's a very talented artist, a really cool dude, and a great family man. And I'm going to put a plug out there. I don't know if he'll get mad at me for this, but I'm going to do it anyway. His family has a YouTube show as well called Fun23. It's he, his wife, and his 2 awesome kids, and they just do cool family stuff.
Coolest kids in the world.
You have to check out this show. If you have kids, even if you don't have kids, check out his show. It's so much fun. It's funny to watch, and you'll just get a good enjoyment out of it, and you'll understand why we like this cat so much and his family. But he lets us use his music. You can check out links below there for his music. He's a very talented artist. Big shout out to this cat here for doing all the production and all the editing and putting the sound and the graphics and all that stuff in there. I just sit here, I pay the bills, and look pretty. But there you go. And this is Inside the Six. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Dear Mr. A&R, we all struggling artists. Realize the world is cold, but we came here to spark it. Swimming little guppies in a sea full of sharks. It's gonna take a miracle to not end up hard.